They're busy judging. You're busy building. Pause and reflect on that. Every day, people watch, comment, and critique, forming opinions about your choices, your work, your dreams. Perhaps it's a colleague murmuring about your ambition, a friend questioning your bold path, or a stranger online dismissing your efforts with a careless remark. It stings, doesn't it? That moment when their words hit, tempting you to doubt yourself, to hesitate, to explain or defend. But here's the truth. While they're caught up in judging, you're forging something greater, a life of purpose, resilience, and meaning. This journey, grounded in Stoic wisdom, is for anyone who's felt the weight of others' opinions and yearned to rise above. It's for the builders, the dreamers, those who refuse to let external noise drown their inner purpose. Today, we explore a powerful truth. The judgments of others are not yours to carry. Your focus, your strength, your work, that's what defines you. Let's dive into how to let them judge while you keep building. We've all faced it. You share a bold idea at work, and someone smirks. You post about a passion project, and the comments brim with unsolicited advice or outright scorn. Maybe it's closer to home, family doubting your career choices, or friends hinting you're reaching too far. In our connected world, where every opinion is amplified online, judgment feels relentless. It's loud, persistent, and at times overwhelming. So why do people judge? The Stoics, thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca saw it clearly. Judgment often stems from discomfort. Your courage, your progress, your willingness to step beyond the ordinary unsettles others. When you pursue a vision they can't grasp, their criticism reflects their own fears, not your worth. Stoicism offers a liberating truth. You cannot control what others think or say. Your reputation, as Epictetus taught, lies beyond your power. It's external, shaped by others' biases and fleeting perspectives. Chasing it is like grasping at the wind, a futile effort that saps your energy and pulls you from what matters. Instead, the Stoics urge us to focus on what we can control: our actions, our intentions, our character. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When criticism comes, you don't need to fight back or prove them wrong. You don't need to justify your path. You simply keep forging ahead, because that's where your true power lies." Today, judgment is louder than ever. Social media turns every opinion into a public verdict. The pressure to conform, to seek approval, to fit someone else's mold of success can feel crushing, but Stoicism offers freedom. It reminds us that others' opinions don't measure our worth. Your value lies in the work you undertake, the principles you uphold, and the person you're becoming. Think of someone you admire: an inventor, a leader, an artist. They likely faced relentless criticism. Take Abraham Lincoln, mocked for his appearance and doubted as a leader, yet he shaped a legacy that endures. Or consider modern innovators who faced skepticism but pressed on. Their secret: they didn't let judgment define them. They stayed true to their purpose. In this video, we'll unpack how to live this truth. We'll explore why criticism signals you're on the right path, how to cultivate the inner strength to stay focused, and practical Stoic tools to keep building despite the noise through Stoic wisdom, real-life stories, and actionable steps. You'll gain clarity. You don't need to justify yourself. Your results will speak for you. If you've ever felt burdened by others' opinions, if criticism has ever made you pause, this is for you. Let's learn to let them judge while we keep building. Stay with me, and let's embrace the Stoic path to freedom. They're busy judging. You're busy building. In the last section, we set the stage. The world is full of opinions, and trying to control them is a trap. Now, let's dive deeper into the Stoic perspective on judgment and reputation, two forces that can derail us if we let them, but lose their power when we understand them. The Stoics, those ancient guides to living well, saw these as external distractions, not measures of our worth. By exploring their wisdom, we'll uncover why letting go of others' judgments frees us to focus on what truly matters, the work of building a meaningful life. Let's start with a truth we all feel. Judgment hurts. When someone criticizes your work, questions your choices, or dismisses your dreams, it can feel like a direct attack on who you are. Maybe it's a snide remark about your new business venture, or a social media comment questioning your priorities. That sting comes from a natural human instinct. We're wired to seek acceptance, to belong. Thousands of years ago, being accepted by the tribe meant survival. Today, that instinct lingers, making us sensitive to what others think. But here's where Stoicism flips the script. The Stoics teach that judgment isn't about you, it's about the person judging. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic philosophers, put it bluntly: you are not your reputation. Your reputation is what others think of you, and what others think is their problem, not yours. When someone judges you, they're revealing their own perspective, shaped by their experiences, insecurities, or biases. Their words don't change your reality unless you let them. Think about it. If a stranger calls you a failure because your project didn't meet their expectations, does that make you a failure? No. Their judgment reflects their limited view, not your worth or potential. The Stoics remind us to separate our sense of self from the opinions of others. Your character, your actions, your intentions, those are yours to shape. The rest, it's just noise. Now, let's talk about reputation. In our modern world, reputation feels like everything. Social media likes, professional accolades, even the approval of friends and family. It's easy to believe that your reputation defines you. We chase 5-star reviews, glowing testimonials, or viral recognition, thinking they'll secure our place in the world. But the Stoics saw reputation for what it is: an external, uncontrollable factor. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who faced constant scrutiny, wrote in his Meditations, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but yet sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others." This is a powerful insight. We crave external validation, yet we often ignore our own judgment of ourselves. Why? Because reputation feels like a shortcut to worth, but Marcus reminds us that it's a mirage. You can't control how others see you, no matter how hard you try. Consider a real-world example. Imagine an entrepreneur launching a startup. She pours her heart into it, but early reviews are mixed. Some praise her vision, others call it unrealistic. If she ties her worth to those reviews, she'll ride an emotional roller coaster, swinging between elation and despair. But if she follows Stoic wisdom, she focuses on what she controls: her effort, her integrity, her commitment to her vision. The reviews, they're outside her power. They don't define her work or her character. At the heart of Stoicism lies a simple but profound tool: the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught that everything in life falls into two categories: what you can control and what you cannot. Your thoughts, your actions, your responses. These are in your power. The opinions of others, their judgments, their approval. These are not. Trying to control the uncontrollable is a recipe for frustration and distraction. Seneca, another Stoic sage, reinforced this idea. He wrote, "You have no grounds for forming an opinion about me, nor I about you. So, why worry?" Seneca's point is clear. The judgments others form about you are based on their own perceptions, not the truth of who you are. Spending energy worrying about them pulls you away from your purpose. Instead, channel that energy into what you can shape: your work, your growth, your principles. This perspective is liberating. Imagine waking up each day knowing that your worth isn't tied to what others say. Imagine working on your goals, whether it's writing a book, starting a business, or simply becoming a better person without the weight of external expectations. That's the freedom Stoicism offers. It's not about ignoring judgment entirely. It's about recognizing it for what it is, irrelevant to your core mission. Here's a Stoic twist. Judgment can be useful, but not in the way you might think. The Stoics didn't dismiss criticism outright. They used it as a mirror. Marcus Aurelius advised, "If anyone can refute me, show me I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after." If a judgment holds a kernel of truth, it can guide you to improve. But if it's baseless, it's just noise to let go. Take a modern example. J.K. Rowling, before her success with Harry Potter, faced rejection after rejection from publishers. Some called her work unoriginal or unmarketable. She could have let those judgments stop her, but she didn't. Instead, she considered feedback that was constructive and ignored the rest, focusing on refining her craft. The result? A global phenomenon that speaks for itself. The Stoics would applaud her approach. Use what serves your growth. Discard what doesn't. Letting go of judgment and reputation doesn't mean becoming indifferent or aloof. It means reclaiming your energy for what matters. Every moment you spend worrying about what others think is a moment stolen from your work, your growth, your purpose. The Stoics saw life as a finite resource. Why waste it on things beyond your control? Epictetus put it this way: "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." When you stop chasing approval, you free yourself to build. You free yourself to create, to grow, to live according to your values. Judgment becomes background noise, not a barrier. Reputation becomes a shadow, not a chain. Understanding judgment and reputation through a Stoic lens is the first step. It's about recognizing that these external forces don't define you. They're distractions from your true work. In the next section, we'll explore why judgment is actually a sign you're on the right path. When people criticize you, it's often proof you're doing something meaningful. We'll dive into stories of those who faced judgment and thrived, and we'll uncover how to use Stoic principles to stay focused and keep building. For now, take this with you. You are not what others say about you. You are what you choose to do, day after day. Let them judge. Your job is to keep building. They're busy judging. You're busy building. We've seen how the Stoics teach us to let go of judgment and reputation, recognizing them as distractions beyond our control. Now, let's turn to a powerful idea. The very act of being judged is often proof you're on the right path. When people criticize you, when they question your choices or dismiss your efforts, it's not a sign of failure. It's evidence you're doing something that matters. The Stoics understood this, and their wisdom, paired with stories from history, and today shows us how to embrace judgment as a marker of progress. Let's explore why criticism is a signal of impact, how to reframe it, and how to keep building despite the noise. Think about the last time someone criticized you. Maybe it was a colleague doubting your new project, a friend raising an eyebrow at your bold goals, or an online commenter tearing down your work. That moment stings, but it also reveals something profound. People don't judge what's ordinary. They don't criticize the person who blends in, who follows the crowd, who never takes a risk. Judgment is reserved for those who dare to stand out, who challenge the status quo, who build something new. The Stoics would say, this is no accident. When you're judged, it's because you're moving forward, and that movement unsettles those who stay still. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, faced constant scrutiny. As a leader, his every decision was questioned by senators, citizens, even his own court. Yet he wrote in his meditations, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Marcus didn't see criticism as a verdict on his worth. He saw it as a test of his focus. When others judged him, he doubled down on his duty, his principles, his work. He knew that criticism often accompanies meaningful action. The louder the judgment, the clearer the sign. You're making an impact. Let's look at history for proof. Consider Galileo Galilei, the astronomer who dared to claim the Earth revolved around the sun. In his time, this was heresy. He faced ridicule, condemnation, even house arrest. The authorities judged him harshly. But why? Because his ideas threatened their comfortable worldview. His critics weren't attacking his character, they were reacting to the magnitude of his work. Galileo didn't stop. He kept studying, writing, building his legacy. Today, we celebrate him as a pioneer, not because he avoided judgment, but because he pressed on, despite it. Fast forward to the modern day, and the pattern holds. Take someone like Elon Musk. Whether you agree with his methods or not, his ventures, electric cars, space travel, renewable energy have drawn relentless criticism. Pundits call his goals unrealistic. Skeptics mock his failures. Yet each wave of judgment coincides with a bold step forward. When Tesla faced near bankruptcy, when SpaceX rockets exploded on launch pads, the critics were loudest. But Musk kept building. Each setback, each judgment, was a marker of his audacity to push boundaries. Today, his companies reshape industries. The lesson: judgment doesn't stop progress, it signals it. This isn't just for historical giants or billionaire innovators. Think about your own life. Maybe you started a side hustle, and someone called it a pipe dream. Maybe you shared a creative project, and the feedback was lukewarm at best. Or maybe you made a tough personal choice, leaving a job, ending a relationship, pursuing a passion, and faced raised eyebrows. Those moments of judgment aren't signs you're failing. They're proof you're stepping beyond the ordinary. The Stoics would urge you to see this as a badge of honor. When you're judged, it means you're doing something worth noticing. Epictetus, another Stoic master, offers clarity here. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid with regard to external things. This is a radical idea. Epictetus is saying, expect judgment. Welcome it. When people call you foolish for chasing your dreams, it's because you're daring to live differently. The crowd loves conformity. It's safe, predictable. But you're not here to conform. You're here to build. And building something meaningful, whether it's a career, a relationship, or your own character, will always invite scrutiny. So how do we reframe judgment as a positive force? The Stoics give us a practical mindset. First, recognize that judgment is inevitable. As long as you're acting with purpose, Someone will disagree, misunderstand, or disapprove. That's not a flaw in your work. It's a feature of human nature. Second, see judgment as feedback, not failure. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, wrote, "There is no reason why you should be swayed by the judgment of the crowd. It is the judgment of the ignorant." Most criticism comes from those who haven't walked your path. Their words don't reflect your reality. They reflect their limitations. Here's a practical example. Imagine you're an artist sharing your work online. Your first posts get a handful of likes, but also a few harsh comments. It's amateurish. Someone says, "You'll never make it." Another chimes in. The Stoic approach isn't to argue back or seek validation. Instead, ask, is there truth in this criticism that can help me grow? If yes, use it. If not, let it go. Keep creating, keep sharing, keep building. Over time, your work improves, your audience grows, and those early critics fade into irrelevance. The judgment was a sign you were starting something real. This mindset applies beyond creative pursuits. Maybe you're a parent, teaching your kids unconventional values, and others disapprove. Or you're an entrepreneur, risking financial security for a vision, or you're simply trying to live with integrity in a world that often rewards shortcuts. In each case, judgment signals you're challenging norms. It's proof you're not just following the script, you're writing your own. The Stoics also remind us that judgment often comes from fear. People criticize what they don't understand, what threatens their comfort. When you pursue something bold, you hold a mirror to others in action. Your ambition, your courage, your willingness to fail, it makes them uneasy. That's why the loudest critics are often the ones who've never tried. As Seneca put it, the man who fears the opinion of others is a slave. Don't be a slave to their fears. Let their judgment be a reminder that you're free to create, to strive, to build. Now, let's be clear. Embracing judgment doesn't mean ignoring all feedback. The Stoics weren't reckless. Marcus Aurelius encouraged self-reflection. If anyone can show me I'm wrong, I'll gladly change. The key is to filter criticism through your own reason. If it's constructive, use it to sharpen your work. If it's just noise, petty, envious, or irrelevant, let it pass. Your energy is too valuable to waste on those who don't see your vision. Consider a modern story. Oprah Winfrey. Early in her career, she was told she wasn't fit for television. Too emotional, too unconventional. Those judgments could have crushed her. Instead, she saw them as a challenge. She kept building her voice, her platform, her impact. Today, she's a global icon, not because she avoided criticism, but because she used it as fuel to prove her purpose. The Stoics would nod in approval. She focused on what she could control, her effort, or her authenticity, and let the results speak. This brings us to a core Stoic truth. Progress invites judgment, but it also outlasts it. When you keep building, when you stay true to your purpose, the noise of criticism fades. Your work endures. Think of every great innovator, artist, or leader. Their critics are forgotten, their contributions are not. The Stoics teach us to play the long game. Don't get caught up in today's opinions. Focus on tomorrow's impact. As we move forward, we'll explore how to cultivate the inner strength to stay focused amid judgment. We'll uncover Stoic tools to silence the noise and practical steps to keep building your life's work. For now, carry this with you. Every judgment you face is a sign you're moving forward. It's proof you're daring to build something that matters. Let them judge. Your results will speak louder than their words. They're busy judging, you're busy building. So far, we've learned to see judgment as a distraction, not a verdict, and to embrace it as proof you're making progress. But progress isn't just about shrugging off criticism, it's about cultivating the strength to stay focused on what matters most. The Stoics knew that true power lies within, in your ability to control your mind, direct your energy, and build your life's work despite the noise. This is about inner strength and focus, the twin pillars of a Stoic life. Let's explore how to forge these qualities, using Stoic wisdom and practical tools to keep building no matter what others say. Inner strength starts with a choice, to anchor yourself in what you can control. The Stoics called this the discipline of desire and aversion, deciding what deserves your attention and what doesn't. Epictetus, the former slave turned philosopher, taught, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When someone criticizes your work or questions your path, it's tempting to react, to defend, to argue, to doubt yourself. But every moment spent on their words is a moment stolen from your purpose. Inner strength means choosing to redirect your energy to your goals, your values, your craft. Think about what this looks like in practice. Imagine you're working on a passion project, a novel, a business, a fitness journey. The moment you share it, opinions flood in. Some are supportive, but others are dismissive. It's too risky. You're not ready. Why bother? Without inner strength, these comments can derail you. You might second-guess your vision or waste time seeking approval. But a Stoic pauses, reflects, and asks, "Is this criticism in my control? Does it change my purpose?" If the answer is no, you let it go. You return to your work. That's the essence of inner strength, the resolve to stay true to your path, no matter the noise. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled an empire under constant pressure, offers a guide here. He wrote in his Meditations, "You have power to strip away many superfluous things that are obstacles to you and to focus on your purpose." Marcus faced endless demands, war, politics, betrayal, yet he stayed focused by returning to his core principles: wisdom, justice, courage, temperance. For you, this might mean defining your own principles. What drives you? Is it creating something meaningful, helping others, becoming the best version of yourself? When you know your why, criticism loses its grip. It becomes irrelevant, because your focus is locked on something greater. Let's ground this in a real story. Consider Malala Yousafzai, the young activist who fought for girls' education in the face of unimaginable opposition. As a teenager, she was criticized, threatened, even attacked for her advocacy. The easy path would have been to stay silent, to avoid the judgment of those who opposed her. But Malala's inner strength, rooted in her belief in education and equality, kept her focused. She didn't argue with every critic or seek universal approval. She kept speaking, writing, building her movement. Today, her impact is undeniable, not because she silenced her critics, but because she outworked them. The Stoics would see her as a model, someone who channeled inner strength into unwavering focus. So, how do you build this strength? The Stoics offer practical tools. First, practice negative visualization, or premeditatio malorum. This means anticipating challenges, including judgment, before they arise. Each morning, take a moment to imagine the criticisms you might face. Picture a colleague dismissing your idea, a friend questioning your choices, or an online troll mocking your efforts. By preparing for these, you rob them of their power. When they happen, you're not surprised, you're ready. Epictetus advised, if you wish to be invincible, Make yourself indifferent to things outside your control. This mental rehearsal builds resilience, letting you face judgment without flinching. Second, practice self-discipline through small, daily actions. Inner strength isn't a one-time achievement, it's a muscle you build. Seneca, the Stoic statesman, wrote, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Start with small tests. When you feel the urge to respond to a harsh comment, pause for 10 seconds. When you're tempted to seek validation, redirect that energy to your work. These moments of restraint strengthen your ability to focus. Over time, they become second nature. You'll find yourself less swayed by external noise, more grounded in your purpose. Focus, the other half of this equation, is where inner strength meets action. The Stoics saw focus as a deliberate choice to prioritize what matters. In a world of distractions, social media notifications, endless opinions, daily stresses, staying focused is a superpower. Marcus Aurelius put it simply: concentrate every minute like a Roman on doing what's in front of you with precise and genuine seriousness. This doesn't mean ignoring the world around you. It means choosing where to place your attention. When you're building something meaningful, whether it's a career, a relationship, or your own character, every ounce of focus matters. Let's apply this to a modern example. Imagine a software developer working on an app. She's passionate about her project, but the feedback is mixed. Some users love it, others call it a waste of time. Meanwhile, her inbox is flooded with notifications, her phone buzzes with social media updates, and her colleagues push her to take on side projects. Without focus, she could get lost in the noise, arguing with critics, chasing likes, or spreading herself too thin. But a Stoic approach would have her ask, "What's my purpose here? What can I control?" She'd set boundaries, maybe an hour a day, to check feedback. Then, back to coding. She'd ignore the irrelevant and double down on her vision. That's focus in action, channeling energy into what moves the needle. The Stoics also teach us to simplify. Seneca advised, "You must stick to one thing and not waver in your pursuit of it." In today's terms, this means cutting out distractions. If you're building a business, don't waste hours scrolling through comments about your competitors. If you're writing a book, don't obsess over early reviews. Identify your core task, the one thing that moves you closer to your goal, and protect it fiercely. This might mean setting specific work hours, turning off notifications, or even distancing yourself from people who constantly criticize without contributing. Focus is about saying no to what doesn't serve your purpose. Another Stoic tool for focus is the practice of mindfulness, or prosoke. This is the art of being fully present in the moment. When you're working on your building, whatever that is for you, give it your full attention. If you're writing, write. If you're training, train. If you're parenting, be there for your kids. Don't let your mind wander to what others might think. Epictetus said, "Let silence be your goal for the most part. Say only what is necessary, and in few words." This applies to your inner dialogue too. Silence the mental chatter about judgment, and focus on the task at hand. Let's tie this back to a real-world example. Consider an athlete training for a marathon. She's up at dawn, running miles while others sleep. Her friends call her obsessed. Strangers question why she pushes so hard. But her inner strength keeps her grounded. She knows why she's running. Her focus keeps her consistent. She sticks to her training plan, ignoring distractions. Step. Each sore muscle, each early morning is a choice to prioritize her goal over external noise. The Stoics would see this as the essence of a good life, aligning your actions with your purpose, day after day. As we move to the next section, we'll explore practical Stoic exercises and real-life stories to help you apply these ideas. You'll learn how to turn inner strength and focus into habits that withstand any judgment. For now, remember this: inner strength is your shield, focus is your sword. Together, they let you build something lasting. No matter who's watching or what they say, let them judge. Your work is your answer. They're busy judging, you're busy building. We've explored how judgment signals progress, how inner strength shields you, and how focus sharpens your purpose. Now, it's time to make this real. Stoicism isn't just philosophy, it's a way of life. It's about taking action, applying wisdom to your daily challenges, and building resilience against the noise of criticism. In this section, we'll dive into real-life stories of people who embodied Stoic principles to overcome judgment, and we'll share practical Stoic exercises you can start today. These tools will help you stay grounded, ignore the chatter, and keep building your life's work. Let's get to it. Start with a story that hits close to home. Picture a young woman named Sarah, a single mother who decided to go back to school to become a nurse. Her family told her it was impractical, too expensive, too time-consuming, too risky with a child to raise. Friends whispered she was being selfish, prioritizing her dreams over her responsibilities. Online, she saw posts from others in her community, subtly mocking her late-night study sessions or her second-hand textbooks. The judgment was relentless, and it would have been easy to quit. But Sarah turned to a Stoic mindset, even if she didn't call it that. She asked herself, what can I control? My effort, my commitment, my love for my daughter. She let the rest go. She studied during nap times, worked part-time, and ignored the naysayers. 3 years later, she graduated, landed a job, and became a role model for her daughter. The critics, they faded into the background. Sarah's story shows what's possible when you focus on your work, not the opinions of others. Now, let's look at a different example. Someone in the public eye, Ryan Holiday, the modern Stoic author, faced intense scrutiny when he transitioned from marketing to writing about philosophy. Critics called him a sellout, a pretender, someone too young to tackle ancient wisdom. Social media amplified the attacks, with some dismissing his books as recycled ideas. But Holiday leaned into Stoic principles. He focused on what he could control, writing with clarity, sharing practical wisdom, and living the ideas he preached. He didn't argue with every critic or chase approval. Instead, he kept producing books, podcasts, daily reflections. Today, his work inspires millions, not because he silenced the judgment, but because he outlasted it. His story proves that consistent action, rooted in purpose, drowns out the noise. These stories aren't just inspiration, they're proof that Stoic principles work in the real world. But how do you apply them yourself? The Stoics didn't just think about life, they practiced it. They used exercises to train their minds, just as athletes train their bodies. Let's walk through 3 Stoic exercises you can use to build resilience against judgment and stay focused on your work. These are simple, practical, and designed for anyone. Whether you're chasing a big dream or just trying to live with more purpose. First, try the Stoic exercise of premeditatio malorum, or negative visualization. This isn't about pessimism, it's about preparation. Each morning, take 5 minutes to sit quietly and imagine the judgments you might face today. Picture a coworker dismissing your idea in a meeting. Imagine a friend questioning your career change. Visualize a harsh comment on your latest post. Now, rehearse your response, not with anger or defensiveness, but with calm indifference. Remind yourself, as Epictetus did, what need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. This means life will always bring challenges, including judgment, but you can choose how to respond. By anticipating criticism, you strip it of its power. When it happens, you're not caught off guard. You're ready to let it pass and keep building. Let's make this concrete. Say you're launching a small business. You know, some people, maybe even family, will call it a risky move. Before you share your plans, visualize their reactions. Picture your uncle saying, "Why not stick with your stable job?" Imagine a friend warning, "Most businesses fail." Then, mentally rehearse your Stoic response. Their opinions are theirs, not mine. My job is to take the next step. Write down your core purpose, why you're starting this business, and keep it where you can see it. When judgment comes, glance at that purpose and get back to work. This exercise trains your mind to stay steady, no matter what others say. Second, practice the Stoic art of amor fati, loving your fate. This means embracing everything that happens, including criticism, as part of your journey. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together. But do so with all your heart." Applied to judgment, this means seeing criticism not as an obstacle, but as a teacher. Maybe a harsh comment reveals a blind spot in your work. Maybe it tests your patience. Either way, it's part of your path. Loving your fate doesn't mean enjoying the sting of criticism. It means accepting it as fuel for growth. Try this. The next time you face judgment, write it down. Let's say someone says, "Your new podcast is amateurish." Instead of dwelling on the hurt, ask, "What can I learn from this?" Maybe their comment points to a technical flaw. You can fix better audio, tighter editing. Or maybe it's just their bias, in which case you let it go. Then, take one small action to improve your work. Record a new episode. Tweak your script. This turns judgment into progress. By loving your fate, you transform criticism from a weight into a stepping stone. Third, practice prosoche, the Stoic discipline of mindfulness. This is about being fully present in your work, shutting out the mental chatter about what others think. Seneca advised, "Cling tooth and nail to the following rule: not to give in to adversity, never to trust prosperity, and always take full note of fortune's habit of behaving just as she pleases." In modern terms, this means focusing on the task in front of you, not the opinions swirling around you. When you're working on something meaningful, writing, creating, parenting, give it your full attention. Don't let your mind wander to what others might say. Here's how to do it. Set aside a specific time each day for your most important work. Your building. Maybe it's an hour to write, a morning run, or time with your kids. During that time, eliminat distraction. Turn off your phone. Close your email. If thoughts of judgment creep in, what will they think of this? Acknowledge them, then let them pass. Picture them as clouds drifting by. Then, return to your task. If you're writing, focus on the next sentence. If you're running, feel your feet hit the ground. This practice trains you to anchor your mind in the present, where judgment has no power. Let's tie this to another story. Consider a teacher named James, who started a community program to help at-risk youth. His colleagues called it a waste of time. Some parents doubted his methods. The judgment weighed on him, but he turned to Stoic principles. Each morning, he visualized the criticism he'd face, preparing himself to stay calm. He embraced the pushback as part of his mission, using constructive feedback to refine his program while ignoring the rest. And when he worked with the kids, he was fully present, listening, teaching, building trust. Over time, his program changed lives, and the critics grew quiet. James didn't win by arguing, he won by staying focused. These exercises, negative visualization, loving your fate, and mindfulness aren't just theory, they're tools you can use today. Start small. Pick one and try it for a week. Maybe spend 5 minutes each morning visualizing judgment, or pause after criticism to ask what you can learn. Notice how your perspective shifts. You'll find yourself less rattled by others' opinions, more grounded in your work. The Stoics believed that practice turns philosophy into action. As Epictetus said, "You don't become a philosopher by reading books, you become one by living the principles." In the next section, we'll wrap up with a powerful conclusion, tying together everything we've learned and leaving you with a call to action. You'll see how to let your results speak louder than any judgment. For now, take these exercises and stories with you. Start practicing. The world will keep judging, but you're too busy building something that lasts. They're busy judging. You're busy building. Throughout this journey, we've uncovered a Stoic truth. The opinions of others, those sharp words, those raised eyebrows, those dismissive comments, are not your burden to carry. They're a sign you're daring to do something meaningful. We've explored how judgment is proof of progress, how inner strength shields you from distraction, and how focus keeps you on your path. We've shared stories of those who faced criticism and thrived, and we've given you practical tools to apply Stoic wisdom in your own life. Now, it's time to bring it all together. You don't need to justify yourself to anyone. Your results will speak louder than any judgment. Let's close with a clear vision of how to live this truth and a call to action to keep building no matter what. Let's revisit the core Stoic lesson. You control your actions, your mindset, your purpose, not the opinions of others. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "It is not the actions of others that trouble us, but our own judgments about them." When someone criticizes your work, your dreams, or your choices, it's tempting to fight back, to explain, to prove them wrong. But every moment spent defending yourself is a moment stolen from your mission. The Stoics teach us to let go of that urge. Instead of arguing, build. Instead of justifying, create. Instead of seeking approval, focus on what matters: your work, your growth, your principles. This is the path to a life of meaning. Think back to the stories we've shared. Sarah, the single mother who became a nurse, despite her family's doubts. Ryan Holiday, who turned criticism into fuel for his writing. Malala, who faced threats but kept advocating for education. Each faced judgment, yet they didn't let it define them. They didn't pause to convince their critics. They kept moving forward, step by step, until their results spoke for themselves. Their lives are proof of what Seneca taught. Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Your time is finite. Don't waste it on the noise of others. Use it to build something that lasts. This isn't just about ignoring judgment. It's about redefining success. In a world obsessed with likes, followers, and external validation, the Stoics offer a different measure: your character. Are you acting with integrity? Are you pursuing your purpose with courage? Are you improving, even in small ways, every day? These are the metrics that matter. The applause of the crowd, the approval of strangers, the fleeting praise on social media, they fade. But the work you do, the person you become that endures, as Epictetus said, if you want to be happy, don't let yourself be swayed by external things, but keep your mind fixed on what is good. Your good is the life you're building, one deliberate choice at a time. So, what does this mean for you? It means you have permission to let go, You don't need to answer every critic. You don't need to win every argument. You don't need to prove your worth to those who can't see it. Your job is to keep building, whether it's a career, a relationship, a creative project, or your own resilience. Every step you take, every effort you make, is a statement louder than any judgment. The Stoics believed that a life well lived is its own reward. Your results, your growth, your impact, your integrity will speak for you. Long after the critics have moved on, here's your call to action. Start today. Pick one area of your life where judgment has held you back. Maybe it's a dream you've hesitated to pursue because of what others might say. Maybe it's a project you've shelved because of early criticism. Or maybe it's a personal goal you've doubted because of someone else's opinion. Take one small step toward it. Write the first page of that book. Sign up for that course. Have that tough conversation, whatever it is. Act. Then, use the Stoic exercises we shared. Visualize the judgment you might face. Embrace it as part of your path. And stay present in your work. Do this daily, and watch how the noise fades. Let's make it practical. Tomorrow morning, set aside 10 minutes. Write down one goal you're committed to building, no matter what others think. Next to it, jot down one action you can take, something small, specific, within your control. Maybe it's sending an email to pitch your idea, practicing a skill for 15 minutes, or simply reflecting on your values. Then, do it. When judgment comes, and it will pause, take a breath. Remind yourself of Marcus Aurelius's words. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Criticism isn't a barrier. It's part of the journey. Keep moving forward. This is your moment. The world will always have its judges, the skeptics, the doubters, the ones who'd rather point fingers than build something themselves. Let them talk. You have better things to do. You're crafting a life of purpose, grounded in your own strength, guided by your own focus. Every choice you make, every step you take, is a brick in the foundation of something greater. You don't need to justify your path to anyone. Your work, your results, your life, they will speak for you. So, go out there and build. Build with courage. Build with focus. Build with the Stoic wisdom that says your worth lies in your actions, not the opinions of others. The noise of judgment will fade, but what you create will endure. Let them judge. You're too busy building something extraordinary.